Hello and welcome to Greater Talks. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Uncle Waffles is one of the hottest DJs on the African continent. The 22-year-old DJ, whose birth name is Lungeli Hlezwane, has been instrumental to the growth of Amapiano, a unique South African genre that is arguably one of the biggest sounds coming out of the African continent right now. Waffles shot to stardom after a video of her DJing and dancing to Young Stunner's Adiwele garnered her over 4 million Twitter views. Her dancing skills and the way she connected with the crowd attracted the attention of worldwide admirers and celebrities, including Drake, who followed her on Instagram after she posted the video, which has since gone viral. Her unique style of DJing has earned her a loyal following among clubgoers and music lovers alike, and as such has since performed at a string of sold-out events in Africa and the UK. In this video, I'll take you through the journey of this highly talented DJ who has been dubbed the Princess of Amapiano. Uncle Waffles, as she is popularly known, was born Lungeli Hlezwane on the 30th of March 2000 in Swaziland, a small landlocked neighboring country of South Africa. She didn't have the easiest upbringing and was raised by her grandmother after being rejected by both her mother and father at birth. In her blog called Perspective, Lungeli speaks about how she never knew her parents and only much later was able to reconcile with her mom, Swaziland, at the age of 9. She further explains how even after this reconciliation with her mother, their relationship was strained throughout her teenage years, saying, "Growing up, I didn't see the reason why I didn't live with my mom or father. As a youngster, the main explanation you consider is the main thing that would check out. That they didn't need you. Thus, sadly, that is where the establishments began. I moved back with my mother at 9, and I believed I didn't have any acquaintance with her, so it was hard becoming accustomed to that. And with that came a ton of quiet battles till the start of this current year. Her relationship with her mom has since improved, and in an interview, Waffles speaks about how her mother now supports her in whatever it is she chooses to do with her life. Growing up in Mbabane in Swaziland, Waffles has always had a creative bone. Speaking to True Love, she explains how she's always had the urge to create and wanted to venture into TV, producing, and script writing since she was very young. Her love for hip-hop music growing up is evident in her first ever YouTube video, where she has a collage of posters consisting of the likes of Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nicki Minaj pasted on her bedroom wall as her background. In an interview with Shay Shade on Represent Radio in London, Waffle speaks about how hip-hop and being a part of a hip-hop dance crew marked her first touch with music. It was during her high school years that the moniker Waffles became synonymous with her because of her love for eating waffles. How the uncle part became attached to it is still unclear at this point. After completing her high school studies in 2017, Waffles immediately joined the workforce. She worked as a receptionist and personal assistant for 2 years. It was during this point in her life, in 2018, that she got her first taste of fame as a model when she got featured in the Swazi Bride magazine. In May of 2020, Uncle Waffles posted her first ever video on YouTube. In this Get to Know Me video, one can tell that Waffles, who was 20 years of age at the time, was in a very uncertain period of her life. In the video, she speaks about how having had a taste of real-life experience in the 2 years since leaving high school had helped her determine what she wanted to study as she was planning on going back to school. She also opened up about her struggles with anxiety, which had become a crutch in her life that hindered her from doing a lot of things in her life, including delaying her from starting her YouTube channel, which many people in her life at the time felt like she should have started much earlier. When asked about what she wanted to do with her life, Waffles was honest about the fact that although she wasn't too sure what it is exactly that she wanted to do with her life, she knew that she was a creative and that she wanted to explore her options and see where she ends up in the creative space. A few months after posting her first YouTube video, Waffles announced on Instagram that she'd bagged her first ever TV presenting gig on Studio One, a Swaziland music and entertainment show. She hosted the show alongside Siyabonga Ntsibande and DJ Stana. Working at Studio One was a pivotal moment in Waffles' career, as this is where she was introduced to DJing. Speaking to True Love, Waffles speaks about how working with so many creatives on set, including DJs in her daily life, piqued her interest in DJing, and how whenever DJs were around, she'd asked to try mixing, which she initially was not very good at. This all changed, she says, when DJ Stana, one of her co-hosts, started teaching her. They spent hours on end trying to work on mixing, and after 3 months, he stopped teaching her, insisting that all she needed now was practice in order to perfect her craft. During the lockdown, Waffles would go to a studio every day in order to practice. She would record her mixes to listen to her mistakes and work to improve on them. It took her almost a year to gain enough confidence to take bookings. When she initially started DJing, she didn't do so with the aim of playing Amapiano. She wanted to play Afro House, which is a slower mix of Kwaito, hip-hop, deep house, and tribal. At the time, however, she was watching a lot of South Africa's DJ Durban Gogo mixes on YouTube. Amapiano was at its inception in South Africa, and DJ Durban Gogo was one of the DJs and producers at the forefront of the Amapiano movement. Waffles was hooked onto the sound, and the transition from Afro House to Amapiano occurred almost naturally for her. With the creative scene being quite small in Swaziland, Waffles stood to book 2 to 3 gigs a year at best. So, she decided to move to South Africa with the intention of developing her career as a DJ. Scoring gigs in South Africa, however, didn't come easy for the Swaziland-born DJ, who wasn't afraid to approach club promoters to beg them for 5 minutes of playing time. After countless rejections, she was finally invited to come DJ by a group that was hosting a show and would later form part of her management team. After a number of people bailed out on the gig, she was called up to cover for someone. Waffles was, understandably, terrified because not only was it her first big event in South Africa, it was also sold out. She performed her heart out on the decks, giving a high-energy, captivating performance of Young Stana's Adiwele that had everyone in the club dancing their hearts out. The moment was captured by one of the hosts, and Waffles, not thinking much of it, decided to post it on the following Saturday afternoon. She was shocked when a couple of hours later, she saw that the video had garnered hundreds of thousands of views. In a radio interview, Waffle speaks about how when she woke up to a follow from Drake the next morning, she'd initially thought he did so by mistake and decided to keep it to herself for a few hours. She then called her management team in tears later, and, as they say, the rest is history. Waffles has since been bagging DJing gigs and is said to be fully booked for the following year in advance. The popular DJ has since performed in different parts of Africa and the UK. Speaking in an interview with Johnny Stone during the Drive of Your Life show on YFM in Ghana, the energetic DJ spoke about how, although she found the South African music scene a bit unwelcoming at first, she's since found her tribe amongst her fellow Amapiano colleagues. She further speaks about how the late South African rap icon, Ricky Rake, gave her words of encouragement when she first started out in South Africa, which helped build her confidence. Now, while it's a great achievement for the 22-year-old to be where she currently is this early in her career, this achievement has turned into a double-edged sword in the sense that, since her fame, she's become a target of criticism and baseless rumors. Trolls were up in arms on social media during Waffles' UK debut tour. Short clips of her sets alongside Mzansi's Amapiano stars, DJ Maporisa and Vocalistic, were shared on social media. Uncle Waffles was called whack, with many questioning her DJing skills. Many of her fans, however, came to her defense, saying that the hate she was receiving was highly unwarranted. Uncle Waffles has since responded to these allegations by her trolls, saying that she felt like once you blow up on the internet, people feel very entitled to how you blow up and want to control how you move. She further adds that, although it was a lot to take in at first, she hones in on the love and support she receives from her team and fans in order to block out all the hate she's been receiving from trolls. In another rumor, Uncle Waffles was said to be a transgender woman. This came after she'd posted a picture on Instagram of herself posing with her dancers at Cotton Fest in Johannesburg. The photo caused a stir on social media about Uncle Waffle's gender, with many people taking to Twitter to body shame the DJ. While there's nothing wrong with being a transgender woman, when talking about Uncle Waffles, we live in a society where hurtful things are said about trans people in general, and as an ally of those who identify as queer, the DJ felt compelled to respond to what was being said about her, telling the gossip mongers to back off and calling them weird for wanting her to somehow have to prove her gender to them based off of her physique and based off of a rumor. She further stated that she was a proud ally of the trans community and that she expected nothing less from some people, as they would always have something to say. In a more recent rumor, Uncle Waffle's management team has been accused of exploiting her. This came after a blogger tweeted that the DJ's management team was taking 40% of the musician's earnings from her gigs, music, and other endorsements, making it 100% markup from the 20% standard management fee in the industry locally and globally. While Waffles and her management team haven't responded to these rumors at the time of making this video, people on social media have been sharing their opinions, with many of her fans hoping that the star gets the necessary training on the business side of the music industry in order to be able to negotiate better deals in the future, so she doesn't end up like many other talented females in the South African entertainment industry who have been exploited by their management teams and record labels when they signed bad deals. The DJ recently transitioned into producing with the release of her EP titled Red Dragon, which is making serious waves in the music industry. The first track on the EP, called Tanzania, featuring Tony Duardo and Sinom Solo, topped the South African 200 chart on Spotify. People all around the world have since released videos of themselves dancing to the track with friends and family. Despite all the controversy surrounding her, it's clear that Uncle Waffles, who has been dubbed the Princess of Amapiano, is playing a pivotal role in pushing the Amapiano sound that is native to South Africa to the rest of the world. And we can only hope and pray that she continues to spear ahead in the plight to push the Amapiano movement, and that she be surrounded by people who want nothing but limitless success for her as she tries to achieve this goal. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel.